Hey guys, it's Danny with Words Are Matter. Let's talk about hierarchy in language. A lot of people are hung up these days on ideas of privilege and entitlement and marginalized groups stepping on previously privileged groups to take pole position as though that's going to change anything. The deal is whether it's patriarchy or matriarchy or brown people on top, white people on the bottom, white people on top, brown people on the bottom, if we're dealing with a construct that has us believing that there needs to be losers for there to be winners, that privileges people like this, one above the other, then we're perpetuating the same old problem. Then we're losing. Then we're still playing out a distortion. So hierarchy is a system of organization that privileges one over the other, right? Their status. So think of it literally like this, like think of the steps in like a winner's, if you're winning the Olympic gold medal and the person who wins is on top and then second place is here and then third place is down here, right? So think of those angles. That's hierarchy. So right now, anyone who is sort of pushing for stepping on other people to get to the top is running the same old hierarchical game. When we're playing the hierarchy game, we need there to be victims. Hierarchy is dependent upon victims, and hierarchy is dependent upon the energies of fear, competition, lack, limitation to keep us separate and competing against one another for an allegedly limited array of resources, right? This is a distortion. This is the overarching distortion that's enslaving the populace right now, hierarchy. So hierarchy is an abstraction that is sustained through language, right? So hierarchy isn't like a thing you can buy in a store. It's a conceptual framework for our culture, and it is sustained and perpetuated through our language, through the way that we speak. So right now, there are a lot of linguistic viruses moving through the field and moving through our lexicon that are enslaving us and creating more division and more separation. Let's talk about the word privilege. So yesterday I was hanging out with a girlfriend who was telling me about a new project that she was working on. And after describing the project, she said it's aimed for a Soho House-like crowd, for those of us who are privileged. And it felt weird. It felt like very fragmenting, like she was telling me about this beautiful idea and this business plan, and then all of a sudden she brings in this concept of privilege. And I asked what she meant by that, and she meant, those of us who are financially privileged. And I said financially stable, and she said no, privilege. So anytime that we speak to privilege, that we speak to status, we are anchoring it into our reality. We are perpetuating it in our reality. So when I was questioning her as far as like financial stability, right, that would have been a heterarchical concept. Equal, right? Someone is financially stable versus someone isn't financially stable. There's no status. There's no value judgment on that. Everyone's on equal playing field. But as soon as we say privilege, all of a sudden, this is the person who's in privileged position. These are the people who aren't in privileged position. This creates fragmentation, right? Because we're not on equal ground anymore. So there's fragmentation in the privileged class, and there's fragmentation in the marginalized class. This is being engineered to keep us separate, to keep us fragmented and out of the flow. So the word privilege, the concept of privilege, same with entitlement, same with all of these that I'll be getting deeper into in other Words Are Matter videos. These are all tools of hierarchy. These are all tools of our oppressors. These are all tools of the nefarious forces who are preying upon our separation and our slumber for profit and control. So start to pay attention to where hierarchy is perving your language, to where the words and phrases that we speak create these types of fragmenting status positions. The more fragmented we are, the more angles and lines separating us, the more separate we think we are, and the easier we are to control, and the more divisiveness spreads through our culture. I'm going to go deeper into this as we move forward, and I'm choosing to lay the groundwork for these hierarchical languaging conversations here and now. And the astrology with Mercury in Cancer is all about where we're giving our power away through language, where we are allowing the forces of empire, of profit, of oligarchy to control us with language. So notice where we're asserting separation, where we're asserting hierarchy, and stop doing it. The more we speak heterarchy, which is a system of organization that privileges no one above one another, that acknowledges our inherent equality. So the more that we speak hierarchy, this neutral, equal playing field, everything that we create is reflective of that equality. The more that we speak this privilege, the more that I'm noticing this, it's like a trend to like apologize for this supposed privilege beforehand, to lead with it, right? Which is totally nuts, because it's bringing fragmentation and affirming separation and status when it's not even topical. Like when my friend was talking about her endeavor being aimed towards the privileged classes, it took us off track from the vision and the benefits and the impact that this project was having. So don't fall for this trap of leading with this self-flagellation for this alleged privilege that is a complete perversion of language and of our inherent equality. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for speaking heterarchy. Remember, every word matters. You are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.